Hello, welcome to Bars and Bells. My name's Lauren.
And I'm Ian.
And we're here tonight for the Strength and Swing series featuring our last class of snatches. We're here to peak before we travel overseas to go do a kettlebell certification with Strong First, where we'll be performing 100, just 10 of these, snatches in 5 minutes. So help us prepare. Let's first get started with our body weight warm-up, and then we'll get into our kettlebell practice.
So those bells are by our side, but we'll start barehanded and starting with the head neck. Palms forward, rib cage down, breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And at the head neck, look towards the sky, but keep your eyes on the horizon. Then do your chin tuck, still looking straight ahead. And repeat again, extension looking up, and then flexion, the trending down look. Then repeat to the horizon again, looking straight ahead. Laterally bend on the neck, that's an ear to a shoulder. Return through center, and repeat to the other side. The head stays in the same place, like pouring a teapot, and we'll do one more time each side, ear to shoulder, and tall. Adjust your stance, maybe even take those hands across the body, but retract the shoulder blades and wear the rib cage down. First, we'll just pick up with that lateral flexion, side bend, tall and middle, and repeat to the other side. Repeating again for sets of 2, the rib cage stays placed over those hips. We'll side bend one more time and find the middle. Lauren's side view is the most helpful for this view. Pull your shoulders together and then add a little flexion or that rib cage rounding towards the hips. Pull down, engage that shield, and lift that extension or T-spine up. Keep the shoulders tight, those T-Rex arms intact, and we'll flex just one last time, and then extend last time to tall. There's one more action unique to the head and that rib cage. It's that rotation. So just like Lauren with the hands across body, we'll rotate the head neck one way and then turn through the shoulders and then head neck to center and the body to follow. Return the chin tuck the other way. Squeeze your butt cheeks, stabilize the hips, then return the head to the middle and then the body. We'll do that one more time later on from that lunge position. So hang on to that rotation. Until then, take it away, Lauren.
Excellent. Let's warm up those feet quickly, and then we'll go through that lunge. Gently bend those toes as if you're going to push off them for a lunge. Pushing down to the ball of the foot and all 5 toes. We'll rise, and then we'll switch sides. As we land, we keep that hip extended, that standing leg nice and straight, bent through the toes. Press up one more time each side as we go here. We will finish on this side here, and then we'll press up. Hold a 2-legged balance. Let's keep trying to straighten those knees as our heels land on the floor. Next, we'll take a foot and we'll get to that demi point. We'll do one point of the foot, and then we'll try to flex and round over those toes. Let's keep the knee and the ankle in the same straight line, but then wing the ankle out to the side. Pull the ankle in underneath. Use the toes to get to the tip. The demi point, we'll push up to switch, and one more time on the other side. Toe point. Gently flex and round over. Ankle wings out. Ankle pulls back in. Back to the toe tips. The demi point, the heel comes down. Next, we'll bend our knees over toes, standing up nice and stacked. Then push your hips forward, squeezing your butt cheeks. Repeat again, knees bend, and then gently press to tall. Last one, we'll bend our knees, we'll peel our heels up and slowly descend. Our knees will find the floor with or without those hands extending the hips. Give yourself a little bit of room. Let's warm up those wrists for our get-ups. Extended arms, elbow pits rotated forward. Full fingers down, callus line, and then palms. With those palms gripping the floor, we'll rotate those elbow pits forward, keeping our shoulders out of our ears. All 10 fingers are nice and heavy, callus line on the floor. Pull yourself forward, getting that wrist extension, and then use your fingers to press yourself back. Let's repeat again. Pull yourself forward, keeping the elbows nice and straight, and then press yourself back. Just press up from here. Palms will leave the floor, elbows stay straight. Sorry, and I misled you. And then palms come down. Let's do that one more time. Palms leave. Then we'll flick the floor and give that a little shake out. Nice. We'll do one full quarter turn of the hand. Fingertips come down. Palms. We'll keep those 10 fingers gripping heavy on the floor, the shoulders out of your ears, and we'll gently sit back here. Elbows are nice and straight, fingers heavy, then gently rock forward. Next, let's add an elbow bend and slowly peel the palms away, flicking the floor away, shaking that out. Lunges.
Whew, we'll get that lunge in there. That sounds good. So extend those hips, and as if there is an electric fence between yourself, I guess, bring a step through into that lunge. Squeeze your back butt cheek, compress that front femur in, and just hold for time. For 5 more seconds, press down through that front leg and imagine lifting up that back leg, and then easy on the off switch. Out to the side with that leg, like in the get up, then repeat the same thing. Pull in, squeeze your butt cheek, push down on that lateral facing leg, my left here, and imagine pulling up the other side. Then take the hand that would be overhead in that get up and just place it across the chest, and at the head neck, rotate to look over the knee. Then rotate through the body. And once you've done both of those things, let's hinge on the hip and have the hand to the floor. At the head neck, rotate to look at the thumb on the ground. And with the shoulders squeezed, that means retracted, rotate the rib cage to the ground. Look up to the ceiling, rotate through the rib cage yet again, and just check. Elevate the shoulder, but we know we shouldn't do that in our get up, so pull that shoulder down, then push the hand away. Then square the head to center, square the shoulders, bend that leg to trail, and that electric fence is back here, toe tip, and bring it right under. Same thing to the other side. Square ahead, maybe it's straight ahead, or just pick that measure in front of you. Pull the leg in, squeeze your back butt cheek, create tension, and push down on that front leg, and imagine, I don't think it's possible, but imagine pulling up that back leg, and stay. Then open that leg to the side, compress that femur in, give your butt cheek in the back a good squeeze for stability, and then repeat the same thing. Push down and imagine pulling up, creating room in those hips. Then the hand of the leg out to the side, cross it. At the head neck, rotate. The torso or rib cage will return to the rotation next, and then hinge on the hip, hand to the floor. Then it's time for the head to rotate to the ground, and then with the shoulders squeezing, that means retracting, rotate the rib cage to the ground. The head leads us up, the rib cage follows, and elevate the shoulder in a shrug just for once, and we know better, pull that down, and then press the floor away. Square the head front, the rib cage to follow, and then that leg underneath. We'll get up through our hinge in just a second. Let's establish our high tension plank on the ground, and then Lauren will walk us through some quick kettlebell loads to warm up those grips and get familiar with the bell. So it's the hand cues from Lauren, those elbow pits forward, and modify the plank from your knees if you need. But then in that high plank like Lauren, scoop the hips under, squeeze the butt cheeks, and pull the hands to the feet, and the feet to the hands, and squeeze your bum. Maintain your core tension, embrace that quiver, and gently place the knees down. Maybe tailbone tip like cow, push the hands forward, breathe, breathe. Let's do that again, and this time think of an X pattern. High plank tension, squeeze your butt cheeks, brace your core. Then pull a right hand to the left foot without moving, and then do the left hand to the right foot. And then do the same thing the other side, and then create an X pattern, a diagonal from shoulder to hip. And then, easy off. Tip that tailbone to the ceiling, lift your bum up like a down dog, and then use the hands, walk yourself to that hinge position, hallmarked by vertical shins, push your hips through, and let's grab a bell and check in.
All right, we'll do a set of holds really quickly, one to the other side, to the other side, to the up. So grab a bell you'd like to warm up with here. We're going to do a suitcase, a rack, finishing ultimately with a goblet hold, about 15 seconds in each position. Over top of your bell to start, 3, 2, 1 hand grips, both hands are square, load up the abs, lift, place bell beside you. This bell is beside you, your shoulder is slightly elevated and retracted. Your hips are pushing forward, your butt cheeks are squeezed, and you're quivering because your abs are working so hard to keep you up tall. For 3, 2, bell returns to the front, hip hinge, up without, second side. Square up the shoulders, retract, brace, left. Bring the bell beside you. Again, square to the front of the room, lightly elevated, lightly retracted. Weights even in both feet. Breathe and brace for another 5 seconds here, keeping that belt off your body. 3, 2, bring it to the front. Hip hinge, up without. Excellent. Whew, that's already fired it up. Next, we'll quarter turn our bell and cheek lean with 2 hands up into that rack position. Using your hinge, grip 1, cuddle 2, zip it tight, punch through, hold. Breathe. Check in. We have a vertical forearm. That bell is resting mainly on your forearm, not on your bicep. You're breathing, keeping that weight on your core, and holding for 4, 3, 2, 2 hands on, hinge, place bell down. Take a breath, shake it out, second side. Hinge, grip, pull, rack, hold. Breathe. Root your feet, square up your body. Keep it vertical, keep it braced for 5, 3, 2, 2 hands, bell comes down. Last one here, we'll be picking that up into the goblet hold. So with the bell parallel with your feet, use your hinge again, grip the top quarter, top handle, then pull and grip the horns. Blades retracted. Imagine pulling that bell apart, engaging your lats. Ribs to hips. Breathe, hold. 5 more seconds here. Could you look through the window? Bring it back down. 3, 2, park. Up without.
Ooh.
Oh, now
That was a nice stretchy kind of workout to a little bit of a sweaty vibe right away.
That's right.
Core, tension, find that grip strength.
We'll continue working up with that full body with a load by performing a get up on each side, followed by a warm-up activity to get to us into our snatches.
Sounds good.
Those warm-ups will be our single arm swings, our cleans, and some light squats. But first, a get up. Starting on one side, roll to the bell, cuddle, and roll, and press. In this get up position, we're ready, we're pushing into the floor, bringing it to our elbow. Then finding our hand. We'll bridge and sweep. Hand will leave the floor, front leg will move, both legs help you up. Control that step back lunge, step open, rotate hinge, sweep, elbow, control to your back, 2 hands to pull the bell down, return it to the floor, come up barehanded. Take a second off, repeat the same on the other side. Starting in that cuddle position.
Cuddling.
You can go ahead.
All right. Cuddle the roll and that 2-hand press. Pack a shoulder and drive the hip to the elbow. It's a tall sit, the sweep, that windmill press away. Then square up the lunge, full body tension to stand, and then drop back, open, and hinge to the hip, hand on floor. We tall sit, we find the elbow, and return to your back. Those 2 hands returning. Very specific ways again to do our get up, but just maybe one light rule on that one. No hands on the get up. 1 arm swings, I'll go first as lowering cues.
All right, our single arm swings here to warm up. We'll start with 5 each side. First, we grip the bell, we tip it on its side, we pull it to our zipper, and we swing. Continue that for another 4. As we practiced earlier in today's practice, we're up tall in our plank position. Make sure you have that plank tension at the top of your swing.
In that warm-up set, I was definitely thinking of the plank tension and also that shoulder blade to stay back in retraction. So do your set of 5. Maybe use 2 hands if this is a brand new move, and let's do it again. Or use your 2 hands again.
Repeat on the other side. First, that pack shoulder, the brace core. Remember, our swings and our power for any sort of kettlebell moves come from those hips and glutes. So make sure it's the hips driving through and the abs staying braced at the top.
Whew. It's that full body tension, full coordination, and then again, the grip strength to stay strong. Heavy toes, firm grips on the hands will make it more resilient. Get-ups right after those swings. So did that bell feel good for you? Maybe pattern with body weight. Let's get down. Maybe no hands this way as well. Set up the bell up just the way you like it. And our second of our 3 sets of get-ups here to start.
From the cuddle to the roll and the press. Using the hip drive to bring it to that elbow. As we come up, we continue to look at that bell and kind of move around and underneath it. Keep the core braced as you stand and return down to the floor with purpose and control. As we get to the elbow, we press away from the elbow and pull down that kettlebell. Take a second, flip yourself around. Take a breather. And then, second side.
It's that cuddle that starts the roll and press. Check in. And then drive the hip. Hit the tall sit. Bridge and sweep. Press the floor away. Square up the lunge and that hi-ya to stand and drop back with control. Open. Find the floor yet again. Sit tall. On that elbow and stiff like a board or strong like a tree. Plank on down. And then, if you can, what side did you do the last time? Maybe switch it up. Keep it even. I went first last time.
I just did 2 legs.
Oh, that's good.
Clean.
No hands.
No hands.
Last time I went first, so this time Lauren's team will do that. Let's go, I go, you go. You're only really following one of us. We're half the amount of total repetitions we do together. 5 repetitions of our swing, and that swing is a clean actually. So it goes right up the body, like we're doing up that fall or winter coat here, and we're ending up in that rack position, shoulder blade back, vertical forearm, and that hike pass position. We're either out back or in the rack.
This is a good drill for warming up the snatch as well, as we need to have a firm grip on that bell so we don't let it go, obviously. But we want that light grip to punch through the kettlebell. You keep that on the snatch as well. When you get that bell overhead, you're punching through it to get into that overhead position.
That's right. It's that transition moment between the firm grip for security and that light grip to float the kettlebell. Punch your hand through, reestablish that nice firm grip. I know Lauren will say that about my snatch, to keep my hand closed at the top versus it being open. Something we're always thinking about.
Still maintaining that strong breath, so as your hips come through, that strong exhale to force the abs to engage. It's the abs that stop you at the top, not that back, so making sure ribs to hips at the top, and again, that vertical forearm. Park the bell, nice. Come up without.
Check in on those grips.
One more round of get-ups and a warm-up set of squats.
The least favorite of Lauren's, that squat.
That's true.
That's why we got to do it every now and then. So come on down again. We'll start with that cuddle. This will be the last get up for right now.
From that firing range, your first position here, to the elbow, to the hand, pushing into the floor, sweeping. That back toe is tucked and ready to use as you press through. Return back to the floor. Take your time, looking at that bell as you sweep, elbow, back, and pull it down. Take a second off. Take your time. Same thing on that second side. Get up number 6 here today. Here we go.
It's the cuddle, the roll, the press. Exert on the exhale there and sit tall. Collect your breath where you need. Maybe tie a breath to each movement like a tall stand and pull yourself down. Then look at that kettlebell. Help stabilize with your eyes. Tall sit. Elbow to your back. 2 hands down. No hands up.
No hands.
Yeah. Hold that longevity test. Cross the leg up. What's your balance? What's your test for feeling good or checking in? That no-handed get-up could be a fun way to check your mobility and balance.
All right, our last warm-up here.
It's my turn, isn't it?
It's going to be a clean to the rack position. Adjust your stance into your squat. What's our number, Ian?
5.
Oh, 5. You're welcome. 5 squats here. Noticing that his elbow stays in nice and tight. As if there's $1 million bill in that armpit, don't let that elbow wing out to the side. Pull yourself down, press yourself to tall. Here we go, my turn.
Our numbers are these 5s. That is a favorite number of ours. In a second, We're gonna climb that a little bit, get to 8s and 10s on those snatches, but feel free to modify your reps and practice integrity versus inefficiency and maintain Lauren's cues for tight elbow and full range in your squat.
Same thing on that second side here. It's a clean to the rack and then 5 squats. Vertical forearm, feet slightly turned out, pulling yourself down, trying to break that parallel position as best as you can, but avoiding that tuck under of the low back. So keep the tailbone reaching to the wall behind you.
Take those recovery breaths in between. In slow, out slow as well. But on that squat, find that breath match with your power. It braces your core, keeps you nice and safe, and also makes you feel nice and strong. Whew. Winded today here a little bit. So again, give that opportunity to take a breath in and out. I was using my heavier kettlebell at the front end of my workout, and hopefully the lighter one feels even lighter because of that. Maybe mix up your bell, be doing that snatch movement here. Be familiar, maybe go back to workouts 1, 2, or 3, and here again is that ultimate snatching workout until we get to go on holiday. Yes. So that heavy one.
Your bells here.
Move it away.
Okay, let's just do 1, but 3 snatches here, but a stop snatch. So we'll look at 1 full snatch and then parking the bell and repeating that 3 times on each side, and then we'll get into our full snatch workout. If you missed the last couple weeks, you should probably go back and check them out. But if you're going to try to join us here today, here is a stop snatch. From the ground, we pull it through to that hike pass position, punch through the sky, it lands overhead, it'll come back through, and then park on the floor. Our continuous snatches, we keep going, but right now we're working on that single one. What this allows us to really use our hips to drive that bell through. Our abs are braced at the top, and that light free throw of a wrist to bring that bell back down.
Nice. Practice makes perfect, even how Lauren says free throw. Take your time and use that stop opportunity with the bell on the floor to stay square, repack your shoulder, and go over that checklist, the ongoing checklist for your workout. Other side.
Noticing here when we do our snatches, we're catching it in the overhead, that 11, 12 o'clock position. We're never pressing it through a bent elbow, but catching it up there. And that's where that light grip comes into play. Think about driving that elbow up and getting underneath your kettlebell. The bell got up there because you use so much power in your hips. It should almost feel easy.
That's right. I was thinking of ways to make this a little harder. Not that we need some, but by doing presses before, or those get-ups in our case, you might pre-fatigue the shoulders or will feel the urgency to extend through those hips. That's 3 for you. That's 3 for us. How about you?
All right, it's time to continuously snatch here, meaning this time we won't put the bell down in between those reps. Our numbers today are going to be I go 5, Ian goes 5. I go 5, other arm Ian. Then 8s, 10s, 10s, 8s, and 5s. So we have a nice peak of the pyramid, we'll stay up there, and then we'll come back down. Would you like to start this today?
I'll start us off.
All right, so
5
Ian,
in a row.
We're doing an I go, you go, which means either you're going with me, taking a break with me, going with Ian, or taking a break with Ian. Don't go the whole entire time. So, team Ian, first arm, 5 snatches, here. Using those hips to get the bell overhead, that nice firm grip, breathing on that hip drive, good. And then parking the bell with control.
That's that 5. In between, we'll practice fast and loose drills like little shakes, but high tension if you're swinging with Lauren here, whereas we grab our bell. Lauren has that nice breath, exhale. The inhale moment is that kettlebell is coming back down into that hike position.
All right, team Ian, another 5. Check in with the grip as you're going here. You're gonna feel those calluses get a little hot and fiery, but make sure you don't rip them open. Ripping them open will only set you back time. It's not impressive. It's just sad. So don't do it.
Keep the grips happy, maybe that pumice routine, and just check in with eyes and those feels all the time. So is this the second side here, Lauren? It's that second set of 5. That means you've done 10 so far. In a moment, we're going up to 8s.
All right, team Ian, first arm, 8 snatches. As you also do your snatches, you have that active arm that's holding the bell, obviously. But you have also a second active arm that's swinging with you. So as you do the snatches, use your opposing arm in the same way you're using your other arm. It won't land upstairs there, but it'll come with you to help you drive those hips through, as well as to keep you square.
So much to think about. And we haven't even talked about rooting your toes or squeezing your bum cheeks, and as always, keeping the shield on top. Lauren talked about it a little bit. You catch the bell at 11, so momentum carries you to 12. Prevent that low back bend by engaging those abdominals on the front and the glutes behind.
Team Ian, second arm, 8 snatches here. We want this workout to start getting your heart rate up there, and a little bit of that endurance meets power. But if you do feel like you need a longer rest in between, take your time. Pace yourself. Make sure they still look like snatches by the end, not something that's not a snatch.
That's right. Not a push press, not a jerk, but just from the bottom to the top. No detours in the middle, no pressing or bending elbow action with the bell. Recover as you can. Those deep breaths in, those deep breaths out. We're coming up on that ultimate set here. Those 2 sets of 10s left and right. All
right.
I can buy us an extra 5 seconds.
Here's the peak of the pyramid here. 10 snatches first side. Here we go. Find a groove, find your breath. Depends on, I don't want to confuse it, but sometimes I count to 5 twice because it's a mental game that makes it a little easier. Sometimes I count down from 10. Whatever you do, I recommend you keep track because I'm not counting for you. Match that breath. Your breathing is going to get a little bit more faster pace. So if you lose your pattern, don't worry, keep going.
But maintain those inhales and exhales because you probably need it the most right now as you're recovering. In slow, out slow. I don't have too many words here today. We're kind of out of breath almost. We're working hard, feeling good. And just look to Lauren for great form and strong repetitions. It's probably close to 10, which means our rest is ending.
Biggest thing to think about as you start getting a little tired through those snatches is your power source. Loading up the hips and driving them through. It's not your arm. Your grip is definitely going to feel worked by the end. But it's not your arm doing the work. Your arm is attached to your hips, and that's what's driving that bell overhead. Checking with the toes, they're gripping. The hips are driving. The tighter you keep it to your body, the less thump you'll get at the top as well.
So when we were practicing this in previous weeks, as we take our breath in, we held up a mat just in front of Lauren's body there. You want to be able to do that kettlebell snatch as if there's a wall in front of you, a couple feet of forgiveness, of course, but tame the arc on the bell. It'll make it easier, more powerful, and perhaps enjoyable. But that's perhaps a big stretch when it comes to that word snatch as well. Oh, Lauren's too strong. 10 comes around quick.
So we said we'd do another set of 10 today. Get that double set in and work on that endurance. So here we go, Team Ian. We're at the peak of the pyramid. We're staying there for one more set. And we'll bring those numbers back down. Feet rooted, hips drive through. Still take that strong exhale and that extra inhale if needed. Breathing, off arm coming with you. Abs. And the other day I made somebody while they were swinging say abs. So use that cue if needed.
Whether you're counting reps or saying abs, talk to it from the deep part of the core. Not just up here, but from down low. We're going to encourage that shield to stay active and try our best to breathe from behind it. 10, it's coming up real quick. Team Lauren, you're doing great. Team, my team, let's do it again for 10.
All right, staying tight. Stay in this alleyway for last biggest, longest set of snatches here. The alleyway, there's that wall in front of you. Elbow will lead the bell up. In this zone, we're kind of just floating the bell. We're guiding it and then punching through. So use those hips to shoot the bell forward. Couple more here. Keep it tight. Keep it strong. Finish with control.
Always trying to make it look easy, but at this point in the workout, we know it's not. That control word, like Lauren said, put it down with intention. And that float. Don't overwork the kettlebell. Trust your hips to do the power and the arm to catch up with it overhead. Oh, I do look forward to these sets as we go down that pyramid. We have an 8 and an 8, and a 5 and a 5. Just right.
So team in here, 8s. Now, I mentioned earlier in today's introduction that we would be doing the snatch test, which is 100 snatches in 5 minutes. Anyhow you want. You can switch hands as many times or as little times as you want. You drop the bell, you're out. One thing is though, we have not done that snatch test in many years, and we won't do that snatch test until the testing time. So don't feel you have to practice the test in order to achieve the test.
Great results.
Yeah.
That's right. Doing those 5s, 8s, and 10s, the grip strength, the shakes and wiggles in between, help build you up for that ultimate test, no matter what it is. Marathon, maybe not. But kettlebell swing marathon like this, also very useful. Thank goodness I'm on that one set of 8. Looking good as always there, Lauren. And here we are for our second final set of 8.
So one more biggish set here, 8. Breathe. Take that time. Break that number down in your head however you like. It's a 4 and a 4, an 8, 7, 6, whatever it may be. But keep it tight, keep it together. Finish strong, no pressing that bell.
Oh, Lauren's cues are for you, but I know they're for me. When she says close that grip, it might be because I open it. Press that bell, that's because I probably was getting tired. Check in, take care. Looking awesome as always there, Lauren, and nice and tall at the finish. Looking at that white door frame behind her, you can see how tall she is, keeping the ribs down and the glutes squeezed. Oh, all right. So easy, only 5s, right?
This is it. 5. First arm team in, keep it tight, and try to keep this set quick. Not that you have to rush it, but just challenge it a little bit, challenge that pace, but keep the hinges. Park with control.
Breathe with control. 5 and 4, just about 3 more reps for that one side for you, and we'll be ready to go. Nice short set. Let's keep our rests short as well.
All right, team in, last set for you. 5 snatches to finish this up. We did 20, 40, 60, 76 plus 6 is 88. We hit that 88 again.
Close to that 100, and with a little peer pressure, a little encouragement from the instructors and crowd, we'll be able to get it, no problem. It's that 5 number as you finish, and then just take your time, be safe. Let's just reconvene with the power of that breath. So take a breath in, nice and slow any way you can. On your exhale, pull the belly button in to exhale. Keep the belly tight, as if from behind that shield, and breathe in again. And slow exhale. Repeat, about a 4-second inhale. 4 seconds hold full. And then 4-second exhale.
Well, you were talking and then, okay, start it again.
Whew. You might take a mouth breath in there too, but try to breathe in through the nose.
In for 4.
In for 4. And out for 4. And in for 4 again. And hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold empty for 4. Breathe in for 4. Breathe in again. Nice and slow out. And nice and slow back in. Well,
it's hard to count that breath and breathe at the same time.
Very much.
So I got confused as to where Ian was on his in and exhales.
Lauren loves finishing off our practice with the get up that brings us just around full circle. Might we do 2 in a row? 2 on the right, then 2 on the left. That gets us our 10 get ups, very close to that 90 snatches, and then we'll be off on our trip. And whereby we invite you to work on the archive content, get a grip, work on the grips, take your time.
Continue practicing.
Even you're taking the trip.
Yeah, continue practicing while we're away, or take a much needed break.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a break here and there, but here we go. Until that break, let's finish with 2 get-ups in a row on this side. It's a cuddle, a roll, a press, an elbow, a hand, a bridge sweep. Pressing the floor away, squaring up tall, scissoring on your way back down, hinging, sweeping, elbowing, back, come back up, keeping that bell nice and strong, firm grip, straight wrist, breathing, last controlled descent. As you rotate, look at that bell. Finish with control. Pull the bell down. Cuddle. Take your time. After those snatches, it's always good to put it all together, seal the deal. Last 2 get-ups, number 9 and 10 here.
Cuddle, roll and press. Drive the foot, keep the foot and elbow heavy. Then it's the hand, and push into that hand and bridge. And windmill, and tall stand in the lunge. Then drop yourself back with control at scissor cue. Open and hinge. Sweep, elbow, return to your back. Stay loaded with the bell if you can. And drive to the elbow again. That's the tall sit and the sweep next. Press, square and stand, and down to the floor in your lunge. Windmill, sweeps to tall sit, elbow to the floor, and back.
One last time, up with no hands.
Awesome.
Take a nice big breath in and out. Thanks for joining us again today at the Bars and Bells Studio online. Check out our Patreon page, our website for in-person bookings. Maybe not for the next 2.5 weeks, but we'll be back live on YouTube the week, like October 25th to be exact.
That's it.
A Tuesday at 4 p.m. We'll be returning back with some fresh ideas and skills to implement in our Strength and Swings class.
Excellent.
So for the next 2.5 weeks, take care, stay strong, check out the archive videos, and we'll train soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.